Hello, and welcome back to Robots Don't Age, the official Red Lens Productions podcast. And before we get to our guest today, I would just like to address a challenge that I've received on behalf of Adrian from the Fan Freaks podcast, challenging me to fight him in Fighter Z. Not only do I accept your challenge, but I challenge you and your lovely co-host, Bone King, to a Resident Evil trivia to be hosted here on the Robots Don't Age podcast. You have 2 weeks to respond. I'll be waiting. And here's my guest, Keani Kern. Keani, how you doing? Great segue.
Hello, I'm doing pretty fucking good. How about yourself?
Great. I'm actually really excited about this trivia contest.
Pew pew.
Before we actually get into it, I do want to address like another thing too. When I started this podcast, I had very simple goals, and one of them was like, "Oh, I know a couple people that actually have their own podcasts." Fan Freaks being one of them. So getting that shout out was actually one of my plans for this podcast. So
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
I know. Hey, did it completely unprovoked too, so I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. Pretty happy about that.
That's what I would do. I'd hit you with one of them little 30-second happy dances. You know, I'd be doing the shuffle of the feet.
Oh yeah. I was giddy when I heard my like robots don't age. I'm like, oh, he said it. He said the name.
Oh, that's me. It's hi. That's me over here. Hi.
All right. So, what have you been up to, man? What have you been watching?
Well, I haven't watched anything new lately, but I did watch the Princess Bride last night. Just for some nostalgia and some giggles and stuff. You know, when it was Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die.
Such a popular movie.
I know.
Classic.
I know.
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know if I've seen it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't recall ever watching that movie.
It's just, it's very dry humor, and
I feel like it's something my sister would have put on back when I was younger, and it was like a background thing that I just didn't pay attention to.
yeah. I feel like I didn't fully appreciate it until I got older. But I mean, it's the same with like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like, I didn't fully appreciate it until I was a little bit older, and then I was
I
like,
always,
okay, this is funny. I get it now. I get it.
I always loved Monty Python and the Holy Grail. When the animator fell over and had a heart attack, that is my favorite little joke of the entire movie.
Well, I think when I was a kid, like I was just so, because I'm very ADD now, but when I was a kid, I was just like outside. I don't want to. Let me go. I just want to. So I don't think I really sat still long enough to watch it. So once I got into like high school and then I saw it, I was like, okay, all right, I'm here for this.
Well, you know what? Fear and subordination. I demand a shrubbery.
I demand a shrubbery. Bring me a shrubbery.
We are no longer the knights who say knee.
Oh shit. I fucking love it. I love it so much.
Anything else you've been watching?
No, that's literally the only thing I've watched. I really haven't been doing much TV lately. I've just kind of been buried in my tablet working on these tasteful nudes.
You know what? I actually do want to get around to that later. I feel like that might be an interesting topic to circle back to for a couple of
Okay.
minutes.
All right.
But let's see. Other than I've been rewatching Dave because that show is just hilarious, and it's only got a few episodes, so it's pretty easy to go through. Holliston, which is another show that I love. You know, Adam Green, Joe Lynch. They play budding horror filmmakers at Holliston, Massachusetts, and it's like a multicam sitcom. I mean, I've shown it to you plenty of times.
Yeah.
It has Odorous Urungus, formerly of Guar, since deceased. But he was in there playing an alien in Adam Green's closet. Just to give you an idea of the tone of the show, guys. I think a lot of people would actually really enjoy that. Check it out. Let's see. Other than that, I've been listening to Neil Gaiman's Sandman. That just got released on Audible. That's a DC comic property. I've been, really fascinated by that, actually. Just about following the Lord of Dreams, who got captured in 1918 and was held captive for many decades. And that's really like the first just a few bits of the story. The world starts falling into disrepair. Everyone starts going, either they can't sleep or they sleep the entire time. Just, things like that. The world kind of goes crazy. And that's just like the first opening of the book.
Speaking of books, I actually have read a couple comics here lately. It's the one that I recently just got because I don't buy issues because I get really like, it's a hot 3 seconds of reading and then I'm frustrated because I want to know more. So I just wait until volumes come out and then I buy the whole volume. and I had pre-ordered. It's called Isola, and it was the second volume, and it's Image Comics. It's by Brandon Fletcher and Carl Kerschel, I think is how you pronounce that. But it's fucking amazing. Like the artwork and the storyline, it's all very. It's really fucking good. It's really good. But me being an artist, and I really love the imagery and everything. Just the style is just fucking incredible.
Do
Um,
you have a brief description of the story for anyone who might be interested?
Um, Let me give you the Google description because I'm not that great with that kind of shit. An evil spell has been cast on the Queen of Mar, and her captain of the guard will do anything to reverse it. Their only hope lies on an island half a world away, a place known in myth as Isola, Land of the Dead. And she's basically been like turned into this tiger. And then there's like these half animal, half people characters, and it's like, obviously like different countries at war, and so they're having to traverse, and no one knows who she is, and they think the queen's been murdered, and it's this whole thing, but it's very sci-fi, and it's just I like it a
You said
lot.
that's Image Comics?
Yes, Image Comics.
I love Image Comics.
There, dude, have you read Saga? Saga is an amazing.
I have not. I've heard
Oh,
about Saga. Anyone I know who reads comics has talked about Saga, but I've not read it yet. No.
oh my god, it's amazing. They're on a hiatus right now, and I just can't fucking wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Actually, it reminds me, I want to check up on see if I can find any more back issues of Realm. It's basically this sci-fi fantasy graphic novel, which, to the best way I can put it, is like D&D, just in novel form. But they can't call it D&D because Wizards of the Coast would sue. So it's
Mhm.
pretty much just the D&D world in a comic book. You have I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've read any issues. Basically, they're doing a courier mission, escorting someone across the now desolated dystopian that is America.
Yeah.
And anyways, there's ma- there's orcs and magic and guns and swords, and it's really just like a great hybrid of a lot of things that I personally would love to read in books. Why I was frothing at the mouth for Volume 3, and I've since forgotten to check up on it. Actually, thanks for reminding me about that.
You're welcome. I actually just started reading a new comic on some random because I had pre-ordered that one comic off Amazon. I know I should be going to comic book stores, but I'm Amazon right now, COVID. But so they suggested another one by Image Comics, and it's called Descender, and it's one young robot, and he's he's considered a friend robot, So
Friendship unit, like
he's,
Apple.
yeah, like Apple. So it's his struggle to stay alive in a universe where like all the androids have been outlawed and bounty hunters like lurk everywhere. But essentially, like, they used to have all of these robots for everything, and then all these robots, they call them the harvesters, showed up and just started like trashing people. And so then people were really scared of robots, so they had this huge like robot culling, so essentially like a holocaust for all the fucking robots on every planet. And they found out that like his, I can't remember what they called it, his codex, essentially the IP address of that robot, like this one little boy robot somehow still matches um the harvesters, like these big badass robots. And so he's like the missing link, and so these people have like got him, and they're like trying to protect him. And I just read the first one, so I haven't gotten very deep, but I guess there's a shitload. There's a shitload of them now that I'm looking.
That sounds right up my alley. Actually, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I think you would really like it. It's like I said, it's really good so far. I like it, and I just did the first volume. I'm gonna order, obviously, the rest. I'm gonna keep going. Let me see. I wonder how many volumes there are. Okay, this is a 6 book series. Well, 6 volumes. I believe is what I found. But the first one is called 10 Stars, and it's Image Comics as well. And so far, I really like it. And there's Descender, and then I guess after these ones, there's Ascender. So I have like a whole bunch, which I really love getting into something that already has a shitload, because then I can just binge on it, and I love it.
Oh, I know it's like the binge culture, but just with comics and beautiful artwork. You get to keep flipping through it.
Yes. Yes, I love that. That's probably my favorite part. I think that's probably what got me into it the most. Is I mean, obviously, great storyline grabs my attention, but just the artwork of it and seeing all that, and I love the process of it. Because from what I've read, a lot of like they've got a whole fucking crew of people, which is just awesome. Because I'm over here trying to do my own myself, but then there's like someone who sketches it out, and then there's someone who fine lines it, and then there's someone who adds the color, and someone who adds the shading, and then someone who adds the words. And I'm just like, look at this teamwork. That's magical. It's magical right there.
In the final product, I mean, every comic that you can go to like a comic book store and pick up, no matter what type of style they did it in, it's gonna look amazing.
Yeah, and then there's in this Descenders, I've noticed that it's not really fine tuned, but not in a bad. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like the edges of stuff are rough and look kind of sketched out sometimes, and I really enjoy that because I guess I just like the differences. I like to see the creativity done in different ways by different people and like how it still looks amazing. It just makes me feel, good about some of my stuff too, because I'm just like, oh, I feel like it helps to let go of the expectations of how you feel like things should be, and then you see that everybody does things their own way, and so there is no should or shouldn't be. It's however the fuck you want it to be, and that just makes you feel really good.
Exactly. It's about having your own style and unique take and
Yeah.
tone. Like nobody wants a carbon copy. If I was coming here
Yeah.
just like Kevin Smith, it wouldn't be as interesting because spoiler alert, Kevin Smith has his own podcast, Empire.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what Kevin Smith is gonna do. He's got
Mhm.
more than enough like his own material and style. I mean, no one should be trying to imitate any one person.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. It's just I feel like there's a lot of I don't know. I guess these are just preconceived. These are my own things, which I
Well,
feel like
yeah, it's
you know
inevitable when you're creative to compare yourself to other people, and no matter what form you're doing. I mean, every person who's making a script for the first time tries to write something Tarantino esque because they feel like they can do it,
yeah.
but that's Tarantino style. That's his thing. That's why he does what he does really well, and other
Mhm.
people can't. It's just
Yeah.
that people gotta realize, they need to find their own voice and own style in everything they do. And there's no
Yeah.
one set platform or carbon copy style to go about it.
Yeah, there's no way that you have to do it. Like that's something I used to tell my sister like when she was in school and she'd be in art and stuff like that, and I'm like, art's not wrong. It can't be wrong. You can do it however you want and it can't be wrong. And I really feel like even when I would start my paintings, I would have these it's like I'd have this idea of how I wanted it to be. And sometimes I would not work on a painting for the longest time because I would get to a point and it was just not becoming what I expected and what I wanted it to be. And I feel like through my painting, I've really been able to I guess let go of my preconceived expectations and just let it be what it is and let it grow organically. And it's really helped me, actually in life in general as well. Like that thought process has just really, it's really helped my art grow.
So would you say that's kind of how you go about your painting as well? You just let it flow when it comes, and when it's motivation, it strikes you, it strikes.
Yeah, it's kind of, sometimes I get an idea or I see something or something inspires me. And then it just kind of builds in my head for a little bit. And then I get to a point where it's like, I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to sit down right now and I have to like let this out. And sometimes I have a general idea and I sketch things out and then I have a general idea of what I want it to be. But I used to create like fine tuned things before I would start painting, but I don't like doing that anymore because, like I said, I feel like I have this expectation, and I prefer to let it be organic and let it flow more naturally and just let it become what it is. Like there'll be times where I'll like accidentally drip something here or I'll accidentally do something on the painting, but I just let it be part of the painting. I'm like, oh well, I guess this is here now and this is how it's gonna be, and that's just is what it is. What's that guy Bob Ross? What's he say? He's like, there are no
Oh,
mi-
I'm
there are
pull
mis-
push.
there are no there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, I can vouch for it. I've lived with you. I've seen your creative process. That's very similar. You just gonna, oh fuck it, just gonna fix that. All right, well, it is what it is.
Oh, well, I dropped some paint here. Looks like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna throw paint all over it. Let's just make them
It'll look pretty good though. I mean, I'm a fan of your work. Obviously, we got a couple of your original artworks hanging around here.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Makes me, I feel famous.
Feel famous.
I feel so famous.
My process is actually like pretty much the exact opposite of yours. I wake up just about every day. I open up my laptop, I turn on the coffee, and then I just sit there and look at my laptop screen. And if something comes out, it's great. And if not, have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No.
Okay, so there's this scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where Leonardo DiCaprio's character Ricky Dalton is in his trailer,
Hmm.
and he is flubbing his lines, just take after take after take. He can't nail it. So he goes back to his trailer for lunch, and it's basically just like a quick cut montage or whatever of him. Well, not montage, one scene of him just flipping out and yelling at himself, and like, "Oh God damn it! You fucking get this, you piece of shit!" And he looks at himself in the mirror, and he's like, "You don't get your fucking lines. I'm gonna go home to the pool later. I'm gonna blow your brains out." It's just like him beating himself up and yelling. And every single day that I don't put like words on a piece of paper, that is literally like the process in my office, running around like, "Oh, dad, can't do it. Oh, you suck. You're worthless."
I was
But alternatively, on the days where it's flowing, I can knock out like 30 pages in a session. So, it's got its up and downs.
I definitely have times where like I go to sit down to do something and I've got all this inspiration and then I start and then it's just like gone. It's just gone. But I mean, I do stuff every day, whether even if I'm not sitting down and working on a painting. um I have my tablet, so I do a lot of digital work, and even if I can't get out anything in mind that's like a specific project that I'm working on, because I have a couple series that I'm working on right now, and a couple little side projects to try and get some side hustles going, that I'm doing. But uh, even if I can't work on that, I still do something to like work my creativity. Like sometimes I'll go around and I'll be like, "Hey, you random person, give me 3 animals." And so they'll give me 3 animals, and then I create something out of those 3 animals, even if it's just a rough sketch or a completed drawing. Or sometimes I'll draw like random shapes of color all over a page, like different colors, and then I'll turn them into something. Like I'll take black and then I'll create a face or create an animal out of it, and it's just kind of to work my imagination. So like so that way I'm doing something and I don't feel like I've done nothing. Like, because even if I haven't completed a project or worked on one of my set projects that I'm doing right now, I've at least exercised my imagination.
Oh, so no matter what, you are like actively working your brain and creative muscles just
Yes.
constantly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if I can't figure out what I'm writing, I try to do something with a podcast. Usually it's a spoof commercial, something like that.
Yeah.
I definitely love recording all those, but there are a lot of days where I actually don't have anything flow out like that, and it's usually just like reverts to me getting upset and generally in a pissy mood because it's hard
Yeah.
not to be creating when that's all you want to do is create.
Yeah. It's I try to, I don't know. I think I kind of came up with those exercises to kind of relieve that, because I feel like with when you have these set projects and these things, like it is all that you want to do. Yes, and I completely fucking get that. But I feel like in turn you end up putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on yourself, and at least me, I'll feel guilty, and I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's okay for me to not do something for a day. It's okay, but my brain doesn't really feel like it's okay. Like, logically, any normal person takes a fucking break, like, but my brain doesn't fucking like it. So I felt like with those exercises, even though it's not completing towards working, on one of the projects that I've done, I've at least done something. It kind of satisfies my brain in a way.
I would agree that it's hard to shut down and not feel guilty. But I've really got to figure out something I'm going to do as like a creative pastime, just kind of like what you were expressing. That might be a lot more helpful and productive.
Yeah, because then there's no pressure to it, because you don't have to get it done. You don't have to, like, because sometimes I feel like that's almost what stunts what I was working on, or why I couldn't get out what I wanted to get out on like my original project or something, is because my brain is just it's just it's been pressurized, and I
You
need
just get
a release.
frustrated and you shut
Yeah,
down.
yeah, and I feel like that's a way for me to work my brain and kind of take a break off of it, but then come back to it. But I'm still doing something that's useful towards my craft.
I agree completely. Tell you what, let's take a quick 2-3 minute break and we can come right back.
Okay.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Witness history as Robotic Wrestling Championship title holder Error Not Found faces his toughest challenger yet, Jim Graw the Chainsaw. Come witness beautifully scripted carnage at this year's RoboSlam Mania this Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. You think you can handle the chainsaw? Just listen to my voice modulator. I was built for wrestling. Ooh yeah, the chainsaw is creeping.
Error not found. Error.
Intense action coming to you live this Sunday at the Dick Johnson Entertainment Emporium, located in the Old Circuit City. RoboSlam Mania. Are you machine enough to handle it?
Robot programming not guaranteed to be fit for human audience. There will be no refunds, and attendees agree to a waiver not guaranteeing their own personal safety.
Hello, and welcome back to Robots Don't Age. All right, now we're going to try something a little bit different today. As the podcast goes and goes, we're going to eventually talk about different things besides just robots. But because this is a very interesting article that we found on Science Daily, I actually want to talk to Kiani about this. Now, guys, believe it or not, they have developed a GoPro that you can put on a Beetle.
On a fucking Beetle.
It's got a robotic arm that you control with your Bluetooth device. I'm not even kidding, like on your phone, and it just rotates and you can look around and you can take like 1 to 6 frames per second. Come on, imagine putting a fucking GoPro on a Beetle.
That's fucking intense. Like the possibilities. It would be fucking great. It would be great.
We are so close to like a stop animation Ant-Man, like in real time.
Yes.
Stop motion.
That would be freaking great.
Just imagine the close-up angles you can get, man. It would be amazing.
And it's so small. It could just fucking go anywhere.
I mean, that camera quality's got to be terrible, but like, it's just such a cool idea to put a little like GoPro on a Beetle.
Yeah, and they actually made like a electronic, like a little electronic bug to put it on, so that they could like actually control where it was going and stuff.
Oh yeah, the only problem with it is that it was vibrating too much. So they had to like actually stop it, take pictures.
Yeah.
I had to imagine a world where like you're just relaxing and all of a sudden you see a little robotic Beetle pop into your house.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Which one of my neighbors is trying to get a sneak preview of my nude body art? This isn't cool, man. This ain't kosher.
It's just like, I haven't dropped acid in years. What the fuck is happening right now?
Oh man, is that a camera on its back?
Am I being watched? Is this the government?
When the dog starts barking at it, though, you know you're not hallucinating.
Yeah, because then they know if they're barking at it, then it's real. It's actually.
Oh, you know what I actually just reread? What the hell did I just read?
Oh God, I love those fucking books. Love those books. I started playing Futuristic Violence in Fancy Suits out loud the other day so my sister could listen to it. And she just sat there when she was listening, she's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And she's just like, what kind of fucking book is this? I was like, the best shit ever. The best shit.
David Wong is by far my favorite author. Like, I love Stephen King, I love Gene Kuntz, all the other people that I've read, but everything about the John Dies at the End series from start to finish has been a fucking ride, man.
I have listened to those books. I've like more than I think because I don't generally re-listen to a book. I mean, sometimes I do, but very rarely. But when I don't have another credit and I just want to listen to a book again, those are always my fucking go-to every time. Like, I've listened to each of them at least 3 fucking times.
Do you know that when you listen, or I guess reread / listen to What the Hell Did I Just Read, the author says that it's actually supposed to be a different story each time you go through it. Like, it's supposed to read differently once you know what the ending is.
Really?
Yeah, I just got done rereading it, and do you remember I'm not gonna, don't say it if you remember. Do you know what the last line of that book is, though?
No, I don't remember.
So I went through and I reread it, and it's that last line where I'm looking at it, I'm like, is I don't want to. It seems like he's trying to allude to a lot more than what you might first think upon reading it.
I'm gonna have to listen to it again because I know I've listened to it twice.
I follow him on Facebook and Twitter, and he's usually like like talks about his writing process in the book a lot. And he's talking about he's okay with the John Dies at the End books always being like its own separate thing. You don't necessarily have to read the first one to get the second,
Yeah.
or like if the book stopped right then, like if they stopped after the first one or the second one or the third one, like that was good. That could have been a story in and of itself. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to have more. It doesn't lead you wanting more of the sequels. But it's just that book in particular, he's like, yeah, it's meant to be like reread again and again to get a different interpretation once you realize like what's going on and the ending and all that stuff.
There were parts that was just so
Bat
just
Mantis,
there's just shit that was so just I think the most disturbing thing to me was like the alternate universe with
Korok.
like the no that I'm talking about in the what the hell did I just read?
Oh,
At least I think that was it. Yeah, that was in this one. Like the I mean, because there were alternate universes.
the
But it was
humans
like the
bred like dogs.
yes. Oh my
Yeah,
god! Like just and the listening, like and listening to it, like with the voices and shit, like it was just that shit disturbed me on a level that was just like I wanted to draw it, like I wanted to paint it, like I wanted to make this morbid, creepy ass fucking painting
for
of these.
people who don't have context, basically in this alternative world within the book of what the hell did I just read? This isn't really a spoiler. There are these humans that were bred up like dogs, so they have nubby stubby little limbs just like Layla, and they hobble around like toothless dogs for the exact purpose of extracting sperm from the specimen of the well, fuck it, the male specimen of whatever species took over.
Yeah,
They literally programmed the humans to crave the semen of the whatever overlord they had.
they like cut off they everything like your they cut off at the elbows and then they cut off at your knees so then you literally just had like nubs and you were people were dogs and it was fucking disturbing like
Just so they could face fuck us all the time.
time
Which
that
means we all collectively, as a species, give really good head. Like, apparently, in the ranking of every sort of animal, mammal, fish, they were just like, hey, you see those humans? You see those lips? Peak perfection.
Perfection.
And here we are.
See them sloppy mouths, cushy cheeks.
All right, so yeah, that's basically some of the stuff you're gonna find in the David Wong books, everybody. That and chair puns.
Yes, lots of chair puns.
Oh, the chair puns are the best part of the first book. I know it sounds ridiculous, everyone, but if you read the first book, there are just a lot of puns that involve chairs, and it's literally the best humor in the entire first book. And I'm not saying literally like one of those people that overuses it. It is the best humor in the entire first book.
I put my cousin on those books on, and he because we were going on a trip somewhere, and so I was like, "Do you want to listen to a book?" And so I started playing John Dies at the End, and he's like, I love this, and so I got him a copy so he could read it, and he was just like, he came to me later, and he's like, my favorite part was the chair puns. I was like, I knew you would love them. Like I knew you would love that. Everybody loves it. I don't know how you couldn't.
Absolutely. I can't get over how clever
Hello?
the chair puns were. The book actually, if I'm not mistaken, was released for free chapter by chapter online because he thought no one would want to read his. I think it was in the foreword for the book that I have. His NyQuil driven delusions or whatever he described it as.
Yeah.
But basically, he was releasing it for free, and then they took it down, fixed it up, and released it as a book. And it's, I mean, obviously done so well that you have 3 in that entire series. Then you have the other series, Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits, which the sequel for that, Zoe Punches the Future in the Dick,
Oh,
is
I
coming up in
cannot
October.
wait.
I have that pre-ordered.
I need to pre-order that shit too.
I am anxious.
I can't wait. They what I would love, and I heard rumor about this, but I don't know if it's true. But I heard rumor that they're gonna make like a TV series.
You know, I believe
on
they were in
that.
talks at Netflix for a while, but from the if I had to guess, it's been so long that's fell through.
Oh,
Man.
fuck. Maybe they're waiting to drop the second book before they start it.
Oh no, that could be.
I hope so. But he has to be like in charge of it, and they have to fucking do it good because it's one of those. If you don't do it like the book, like it's just gonna suck a fat dick.
Hey, if anyone has that money, it's gonna be Netflix.
It would be fucking Netflix.
Speaking of books, you can also get my book Respire on Amazon right now for $19.99.
And that shit is amazing. Like, and I'm not just saying that because we're fucking friends, but bro, I blew through that fucker so fast. So fast. I was just like, this is so good. I can't fucking put it down. Like, I gotta keep going. It
I
was
don't.
just-
I just get so awkward with compliments.
It was good. Well, this is just me tooting your horn. Toot toot, motherfucker. Okay, so take it.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. It's nice to hear. I did put a lot of work into the book. I love it. I started writing that book on your couch, quite literally, I believe,
Yeah,
because that's
yeah.
where I wrote before I got my desk set up.
That's what you wrote. I think you wrote that in the book that I got from you. You're like, this novel started on your couch. And I'm like, oh, my heart. All the creative processes together.
Respire. I do really love that project. I mean, for a brief summary, anyone who's curious, it takes place in small town middle America following a group of survivors in a dystopian future filled with monsters, warring factions, and quite frankly, just a lot of gunplay. I mean, an American amount of gunplay.
It's good. And I really liked the way you built each character and how they're each different and you were so descriptive with all of them. Like my ability to like build them up, you made it so easy for me to build them up in my mind as to what they looked like and their demeanor and how they carried themselves overall. And it was really fucking good. And the story kept me going the whole fucking time, and I can't wait to read what's next.
I can't wait to see. I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna spoil my own book. That'd be stupid. It's fine. I'm gonna wait.
That'd be stupid. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do it. I know exactly what I want to do. Everything for the third one's planned. I'm just waiting for November. The second one is done. The second one is in editing. I am ready and I am eager to share with the world. I am bursting at the seams with excitement for this book.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped to read it. I'm gonna read the first one again. Matter of fact,
I actually need to reread the first one. Just to be honest with you, I need to.
Yeah.
I've done so many projects since then. Like I finished the more or less spin-off sequel book that's going to follow Gerald. If you recall, he was Patrick's friend before Patrick, left the new American government territory.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to follow him and what he went off to, and it's going to branch together. Don't worry. And aside from that, I also finished the slasher novella, but that's far from being released.
I'm excited. I just can't wait. Cause I feel like when we worked together and like we were in the same, cause Cody and I are in completely different states for those of you who don't know, but like we used to live together and best friends, you're my best friend. Anyway, when we were around each other all the fucking time, like we used to play our ideas and our projects and we always knew what each other was working on constantly. And so it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of exciting to like do these podcasts because we don't see each other the way that we used to.
Yeah, we don't get to talk anymore either because we're both working a lot of hours. I work 56 hours a week already.
I work regular hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. No, go ahead. You had a fucking point, I'm sure.
Yeah, I work regular hours, but I still have all the other fucking things that I'm doing on top of that. But anyway, my point was it's dope for us to do this podcast, and then on top of that, when we have our projects and it's like we have to wait for it to come out for each other to see it, because we used to see it in the process with one another, so like we kind of got to watch it build and watch it grow. So I think I get really excited about when you're like, okay, I'm almost done with this, and then I can see the finished product because I just have no idea what's going on until it's given to me to see, and then vice versa, like because you don't get, like for instance with the website, when I was working on that, like you hadn't seen any of it until I was like, boom, done.
Or that absolutely amazing Prince Zuko painting that you made for me. that is hanging up right next to our door, and we still need to get a picture of for you.
It's fucking. I loved that. I loved
is
that
so good.
project. I loved that project. That was so fun.
All right, you got anything you want to plug before we get out of here? Keanu?
Why did I just forget my website? Sweet Jesus.
Professional.
I am so professional. AbundanceStudio.com. I have prints, I have coffee mugs, I got original paintings. I also do custom imagery. Also, my Instagram is at Abundant Studio. I'm also currently working on a body positivity or series where I'm going to promote obviously body positivity. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what size you are. If you would like to take part in that, you can actually email me at abundantstudio@gmail.com and I can give you more information via that. There will also shortly be more information up on our website, so you can check that out there. I would love for anyone and everyone to take part in this if you would like to, so get in contact with me.
Yeah, get ready for mine. I'll send them over here shortly. Anyways, you can follow the podcast at Robots Don't Age and follow me at Cody Has Coffee. And don't forget to check out Redlands Productions. We are on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the good stuff. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you later.
Thanks, guys.
Outro.
The end.